Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever. Welcome to Higher Human Biology. We're just going to give you a brief tour, really, of all the resources that we want you to get used to, get acquainted with over the next couple of lessons, because you're going to use these resources all the way through the year. So I'm just going to give you a tour of three key resources. The first one is Microsoft Teams. I'm going to show you how to access notes and lessons, past papers, revision materials, mind maps. I'm going to show you how you can communicate with each other and with your teacher as well. We're going to show you Scholar, which you may have used before, but we want you to add the tile, Scholar tile to Glow, so it's easy for you to access. And then we're going to show you an online flashcard tool called Brainscape. So we'll give you a link through to Brainscape, and then you can use that again throughout the year just to learn some of the key terms, because there's an awful lot of words and names. It's almost like a foreign language, really, that you're going to be learning. So first of all, Microsoft Teams. You should be familiar with Microsoft Teams. You'll have used it before, I'm sure. If you go into the biology team, you should be a member of the biology team. So there are different channels down this left-hand side. So you can communicate directly with your class or with your teacher through the channel. So for example, if you are in Mr. McIntyre's Higher Human class, if you click on there, you can speak to the class within the channel, but also at the top where it says files, Mr. McIntyre might put some documents, some files there that are relevant just to your class. So just to be aware of that. If we come out of that, if you go back to General and then up to the Files section, one of the first things I want you to do is get used to using this and find your way around and just have a look and see what resources are available to you. There's loads of stuff on here, but you need to know what's there and you need to know what's useful and when it's useful. So spend some time going in and having a look. So I'm going to take you in now. And I'll show you some of the things that I think are going to be useful to you. So if you go into Higher Human Biology, because that's the subject you've taken. Now, you can see there's Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. There's some information on the assignment. Don't worry about that just yet. There are some past papers. We'll go into that in a minute. And there's a section for general revision. So first of all, if you go into one of the units, for each of the units, there are some lessons. Okay, so key area 1 through to 8, that is basically unit 1. And there are PowerPoints there that have all the information that you need for each of those key areas. So make sure you use those. They can help you to complete the notes. So if we go back to unit 1 and go to notes. Okay, so there are notes for each key area that we want you to complete. You will either do that in class when we eventually get into class, or you can do that at home. And you can use the lessons, the PowerPoints, to help you to complete the notes. Down at the bottom as well, there's some information from Scholar, but we'll come back to Scholar. And then as well, for each of the units, there are some mind maps as well that you can complete for each of the key areas. Just go back to Higher Human Biology, and I just want to show you the past papers. So I know you can get past papers. I know you can get booklets of years of past papers, and that's fine, that's good. But what's particularly useful, particularly at the start of the course, are these top three here, because what we've done is we've taken the past paper questions, and then we've taken the questions and put them into subject by topic. So if you go into Unit 1, for example, and then click on the document, Unit 1 past paper questions. Okay, so you can go in and there's a menu there. So for example, if you have been doing gene expression, you can just click on gene expression and it will take you through to the gene expression section, and all the past paper questions related to gene expression are there. Okay, so you can work your way through those, and that'll give you some good practice, because the exam questions are difficult, are tricky. So you need to practice these as much as you can. Okay, so if we come out of that and I go to the general revision, just down at the bottom. Okay, so again, in here, there's more revision. There are extended response questions, so almost like essay questions to help with your revision. And there'll also be some problem solving help and practice here as well. So that's a quick guide through Teams. We want you to go in and have a look at the documents, look at the lessons, particularly in the first unit and the first key area. Start having a look through it, have a look at the notes, and make yourself acquainted with where things are so that you can find them easily when you need to. Okay, so the next resource that we want you to be familiar with is Scholar. So if you go to your Glow Launchpad, I already have Scholar as a tile there on the Glow Launchpad. But if you don't have it, just put in a search for Scholar and it'll come up and it'll give you the option of just adding that to your Launchpad so that it's always there. If you click on the tile, it takes you through to Scholar. Now you won't have as many as this, I don't think. But for this course, the key one to check you've got is Higher Human Biology. Click on, and again you can see it's split into 3 units: first unit, second unit, third unit. And if you go in, the units are split into key areas, and there's a test at the end. But if you go into one of the key areas, again, it's broken down bit by bit. There are activities, there are questions, there are tests, notes, diagrams, videos. There's lots and lots of material here that can help you to understand things if you're finding it tricky. Again, I would recommend, don't just think, all right, yeah, good, Scholar, right, Mr. Hill's shown us that, fine. Please go in and have a look and look around and have a bit of a tour and see what's in there and see what would be useful for you. So the third and final resource that we want you to get familiar with is something called Brainscape. So there's loads and loads of different online flashcards that you can get. We've put the course basically on Brainscape, and your teacher will be able to send you a link to our Brainscape. And when you get into Brainscape, again, we've broken it down into the different topics. So the first topic will be division and differentiation. But as you can see, all the way down through the course, every topic is there. So you can, again, go in and we're not asking you to necessarily know the answer to any of these things, but just go in and get used to using it and seeing how it works. It's pretty simple, but get used to it. We're going to the first topic, division and differentiation. You'll be asked a question, and then basically answer it yourself in your head or write it down. Reveal the answer. If you got the answer correct and it was absolutely spot on, give yourself a 5. If you were absolutely no idea what the answer was, give yourself a 1. And if you partly got the answer right, score yourself a 3. So I knew that. I knew 4 cells that are haploid, so I'm giving myself a 5. And then it moves you on to the next question. Okay, and just keep working your way through these flashcards, because it will help you get to know the key terms and the key words. It's not the only way you should revise, but it's a good way to start your revision by learning these key words and key terms. So what we've done in this video is just show you some of the key resources that you're going to be using over the course of the next year. First of all, Microsoft Teams, the lessons, the notes, the mind maps, the past papers, and the other revision materials. Also Scholar and the materials that are available on there, and then Brainscape, which is the online flashcards. Go and use them. I would recommend that you spend a couple of lessons, a couple of hours, just working your way through those 3 resources and getting used to them and seeing what's there. Once you've done that, then move on to the actual material of the course and the first lesson. Okay, see you all soon.